Assalamualaikum, my name is Narina Shahida binti Rusdan from ADE491. The journal I choose to summarize is The Lat's Comics and the Articulation of the Malaysian Cultural Landscape, published by University Kebangsaan Malaysia by several writers I have included in the reference section at the end of this video. To begin, the writing introduces about culture and its importance, the synergies of Malaysia as a multicultural country, and the work of Lat, which is well known by everyone with the famous Kampung Boy. Kampung Boy is created by the renowned Malaysian cartoonist Muhammad Nur Khalid, or better known as Lat. This comic captures the essence of his own childhood experiences growing up in a traditional Malaysian village, or known as Kampung. Kampung Boy is a successful attempt at capturing the essence of Malaysians' village life, portraying the customs, traditions, and culture of the time. Through his work with the vivid illustrations and successful storytelling, readers who indulge themselves in the reading gain more insights on the close-knit community formed in a kampung with the significance of Islamic practices and harmonious coexistence between the villages and the nature. In this journal, comic is defined as a light reading that found often in newspapers. It is aimed to provide light reading and entertainment, while comic contains panels, gutters, balloons, and captions, while often being in some form of a narrative with a story to tell. Next, comic is described as a sequential art by Esner in 1985, which can be defined as an organized accordingly to provide meaning out of them. This is later changed into juxtaposed pictorial and other images in deliberate sequence with the intention of conveying information or to produce aesthetic responses in viewers, as quoted from MacLeod in 1993. Another way to define comic is it contains both words and pictures, while comic is unique, as the linguistic and picture elements interact with each other. Lastly, it contains element of humor. Humor in comics come from the exaggerated drawings like physical actions, gestures, and expression of face to make a point. It may be in form of value representations or deeper connotations. The Malaysian cultural reflection in Kampung Boys are as such: prayer session, lunch break, and the representation of mother. The prayer session is often visualized in this comic as it portrays the life of the community in a village, where they pray together. In this comic strip seen here, the artist portrayed life in village where the children around the age 4 to 12 years old are sent to religious classes. Shown is a typical scene of the children praying at the teacher's house. Prayer is symbolic to the Malay village's way of life. Next is the lunch break. Lat displays a familiar cultural scenario in everyday life worlds in urban settings. The narration is centered around the concern regarding food and health. In the second frame, two working men in work attire is seen choosing food for their lunch together, which is a norm in Malaysia. During lunch break, colleagues at the same workplace usually eat lunch together in the city. Another important Malay cultural reflection in Kampung Boy is the representation of mothers. The representations of mothers includes Chinese mother, Indian mother, and lastly Malay mothers. Each have a distinct trait, like the Chinese mother is portrayed in modern knee-length dress. She is depicted carrying her children, bags and water bottles full in one hand, while the other hand is using an umbrella to shield her children from heat. This is symbolic to the role of a Chinese mother based on their ideological who would sacrifice for the sake of the children. Next is Indian mother, which is shown in a bright sari outfit, a short blouse worn with long wrap around clothes slung over her shoulder. She holds her child in one hand while holding shopping bag in the other. The symbolic is the essence of an Indian mother guarding her child strictly as seen in her expression. Lastly is the Malay mother who is depicted cheerful in her traditional baju kurung. Her young children is seen standing in her way, looking rather perplexed at the guests as the mother walks out with her hands full with tray of refreshments. This is a symbolic to young children trailing their mother around as she is doing her tasks as a mother and a housewife. The wide smile of an expression drawn on her face is a symbolic to the Malay people's willingness to serve the guests, as well as the compliant nature of a typical village mother. The representation of culture in Lat's comics can be divided into four. First is the stereotypical outfits, the settings, hobbies, and food. In this comic, culture is captured through the appearance of characters that can be identified by the way they dress. Readers can recognize to which culture they belong to. As an example, Malay boys are shown in prayer clothes with kain pelikat. Next is the setting in comic. Lat portrayed the religious environment, lunch break, and expressing the culture of town people as the employees go out together for lunch break. Lastly is the hobby in Lat's Kampong Boy. During the prayer session scene, Lat shown how traditional toys can still be seen in the village like spinning tops, marbles, and bottle lids that came out from the children's clothes as they were praying. This symbolized their innocence and the nature of children wanting to play with their friends. Fourth is the food in Kampong Boy. Visual image of food has strong connotations of providing perspectives into different aspects of their personal and cultural identities. Array of dishes are drawn to represent Malaysian culinary variety, often served in local restaurants like chili crab, kerang, and beef rendang. To conclude, language helps reflecting the value and beliefs of a society member. The articulation of Malaysian social and cultural identity is a creative process taken by Malaysian cartoonists in order to display Malaysian cultural identities, including everyday defined realities. Lat's work in Kampong Boy bear the rich imprinting of Malaysian cultural heritage through the portrayal of our communities. His touch in the artwork managed to become a window that helps us to understand our own differences in identities, practices, literacies, and discourses as Malaysians. But through this difference, we manage to adapt and learn to live among each other, while respecting and valuing each other. That is all from me. Thank you and have a great day.